Hager.
Here.
Stutz.
Here.
Young.
Here.
Francis.
Here.
Bernardi.
Here.
Kessler.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Luchin. Here. Lauer.
First thing you acknowledge that the meeting was properly noticed and posted.
I certify it was.
I need a motion to approve the agenda for tonight.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Pat Anthony, seconded by Roxanne. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, then we need a motion to approve the minutes of April 21st, 2026 that they are in.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
By Tanner, who seconded it? You can go. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that goes. Number 7, a public comment. Do we have any public comment? Go right ahead.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tim. I'm an instructor at Hurley High School and working. And in this day and age of so many things not being right, I'm here to say thank you to Murph and everybody who came up with the idea to have the high school work with the county in repairing that cannon. It really influenced 2 young lives. It influenced my life. It was a big challenge, never having doing anything like this before from 1904. But it never would have happened had Murph not decided to involve the school with the county and work together. It was a great opportunity for the students and a great opportunity to help our community. So the very first thing we had to figure out is how to make scopes, which are really, really hard. There's no plan. So this was done with 3D imaging and hand carving. And I'd like to present Murph with the very first scope for the cannon that we made.
Thank you, Kim.
Thanks again.
Thank you very much. This was an undertaking. We didn't know what to do. And I brought it to wood class, Roger Peterson and Tim. And Dave, and I don't know, Roger didn't want to let you do it. He kind of, yeah, he did. He was like, well, I got enough going on, Murph. But Tim grabbed it, and like he said, him 2 kids worked. Two kids worked good. They came in on Saturdays, and they really did a lot. And when we do it, we're gonna have everybody, because there was a kid that painted it up, Danny Walowinski. So we're gonna have everybody that has something to do with it is gonna be standing there. He said it though. Yeah, it was really
Well,
huge.
thanks for the opportunity.
What they did in Ironwood is they got the Amish to do it. That's what they did. They never thought of their school. They never thought it was, but I know our kids, they say these kids nowadays are something, but some of them, I mean, every time we went to early high school, we'd never been let down. The band shows up for Memorial Day, and kids, we had a football team, we did yard down there. I mean, they're good. They're doing good. And thank you for that. Is there any other public comment? Let's have more good public comment. Maybe you have anything good.
I have a little bit that I'd like to just say. I was reflecting back on a year ago where we were as a board a year ago. And for those of you that are new to the board, this might be just a little bit of helpful background. A year ago, I think at this same meeting, or maybe it was the July meeting, I can remember giving a speech after 6 months as administrative coordinator, as a volunteer administrative coordinator. And we as board members are not allowed to be the permanent leader of the county. We can't be the permanent administrative coordinator. Like, we couldn't be Jay's position and be a county supervisor. But I worked as a temporary administrative coordinator from January 1st of last year to June 30th of 2025. And I worked over 40 hours a week during that time to train county staff on accounting. I coordinated with the auditors, fixed some audit issues, helped start up the salary structure, and helped balance the budget with Kurt. So it was kind of an interesting thing to do, to be the temporary admin coordinator, because we as county supervisors face pretty strict rules on open meeting laws. And like I said, we can't legally be the permanent administrative coordinator while serving as a county supervisor. We had some pretty big wins last year. And for the new board members, again, you know, we updated the employee handbook, saw that come through the county board. We had some really good audit improvements last year in 2025 that carried through to 2026 with Bree Lombardo. And lot of you I worked with to be able to do receivables and payments and things, and hopefully you carried them through into 2026. And also the county website got upgraded and the financial reports got simplified for the board. So there was a lot that got done in that 6 months, and thinking back on it, set in my mind that at a minimum, the county requires a full-time leader and a full-time trained accountant, preferably a CPA, and then some administrative support really to run efficiently. So that was a very good experience. I encourage you, if you all have the opportunity to spend some more time in the courthouse interacting with our department heads, you should take that opportunity. The form of government that we have, just to be clear, is the administrative coordinator. What that means is the department heads report to us as county supervisors. The only ones that report to Jay are
Bill Nacy in facilities maintenance and Danny Gardner for IT
and
administration.
elected officials obviously report to the voters. So initially, back in 2025, we talked about having a county administrator, which is a different form of government, a little bit higher, where the department heads would report to the county administrator. A lot of other counties have that, like Price County, for instance, has that. And the other thing I think we refined last year by having the WCA come in and talk to us a couple of times, and maybe it's worth having them come again and talk to us, given that we have so many new board members, to try to explain what the difference is between a board supervisor and a department head and the county employees. Because the board is supposed to be focusing on making decisions. The what, and that's the easiest, best way to describe it. The board needs to focus on the what, and the department heads and the employees need to focus on the how, the day-to-day work. They take direction from us. So, back in 2024, there was some big gaps from financial perspective. Last year, there were still some big gaps. And I think we made a lot of progress, had a lot of accomplishments last year. We know we still rely too heavily on slow paper processes. Our county ordinances, we talked about that last year, getting them all online. Many of them haven't been updated since 1993. So that's a big job that's still sitting out there. So I think there's still a lot to be done, but for those of you who weren't around for the last 2 years or even beyond that, those of us who have more institutional history, I think we should try to share that so we can help everyone else understand where we've been and where we have to go. And one analogy I thought of is, one trip to the gym doesn't get you in shape. So this is a continuous process. Thank you.
We also have any public comment. You're in on communications, Kristen, you got any?
Not at this time.
Good. Committee and chair's report. We're gonna go this way.
All right, forestry. Stumpage currently is $638,776.86. Last year, it was $579,765.45. So up about 60 grand. I'll go over some other highlights. 40,000 red pines were planted on 2 sites on Birch Hill. It's the first planting in 40 years. We still have 290,000 carbon credits available on the market, about $5 million. Timber bid opening is June 10th at 9 a.m. All county campgrounds are now open. Saxon Harbor, there are 5 open slips. The 26th season plus 4 to 5 sailboat slips due to shallow water in the channel. Army Corps has Saxon Harbor dredging as a project to be awarded in late 26 with completion in spring of 27. Marion County dredging plan for 26 will be pushed to 27 due to Army Corps schedule. We received notice that $375,000 was secured through Senator Baldwin with direct congressional spending to armor Lake Superior shoreline along Harbor Drive and construct beach access stairway. $42,000 Wisconsin Coastal Management Grant for project design already secured. Project should be fully covered by these 2 grants. Some other things, trails 217, 77 remained open to ATV use when snowmobile trails closed as a trial for this spring, and no damage was reported, so I think we're gonna keep doing that. They installed a new county seat dock kayak launch funded by county conservation aids, Early Lions Club, Friends of the Guile, and Iron County. And they're planning a guile flow dedication for early June at Guile Park. Maybe that's it. Do you have anything, Eric?
Nope, I covered it. And
Only the finance committee met, but I'll let Jamie talk about that, and the extension meeting is coming up.
Karen,
And just had one meeting, which was human services. I was elected as chair and vice chair is Brandon Snyder. New members received orientation to human services, including services and abbreviations, which is always a challenge. Budget was reviewed, still have outstanding receivables for 2025. Placement costs are still below budget, which is a great thing. Department submitted a request for additional funds from WEA and received $13,000 to use for administrative costs. And we conducted interviews for the economic support specialist. Abby Chisholm was selected and she accepted the position. She starts June 1st. That's it for me.
thank you, Karen. You got anything?
I don't, kind of new.
Okay, Steve, Matt,
Zoning, we're doing good, our permits are running about the same. We've got new board members with 2 members, so it's going to start all over. Highway, we took in our bids for blacktop. And we approved them for this year. Crews are all out doing their summer work, seal crack filling and that on 77, and other jobs that are going on right now. Airport, from what we found at the last meeting, we were working on the new hangar. And we found out that Caroline is going to put another hub in. They will be flying from Ironwood to Detroit. Another takeoff. That's basically what we were working on over there.
got anything? Nothing. Roy?
Recycling and land water meet.
Let's see.
We have anything on the board meeting with forestry?
Good. Jamie?
Yeah, I'll start with the Memorial Building Committee. We met most recently today at 4 o'clock. Steve Pickle is our new board member on that committee. Our main purpose of the meeting today was to talk to ADA compliant ramp. Remind me who he is again.
Put them on the spot right at the meeting.
Right at the spot.
Kirby.
Kirby.
Kirby. So we already purchased it last year because the ramp was going to go up 10% more. So we purchased that and it's already been paid for. It's a good thing we did because we found out today that that ramp actually would have been 30% more this year had we had waited. It was quite a lot. And the ramp initially was 35,000. Yep. So we just kind of came up with logistics on how we're going to get the ramp to the Memorial Building. It was also suggested, and we talked about it today in the meeting, that before we put the ramp down, that will actually connect the entranceway above the bowling alley, which would be considered the west side of the building. We wanted to put some really heavy barrier down, do some landscaping that will weed growth, probably some cut rock or what did you call it? Riprap. So that's really clean underneath the ramp, so it's easier to maintain. So we approved expenditures for also the construction of a wooden frame deck above the bowling prints for the cement is crumbling, which will actually have a timber frame construction roof over it at a later date and time. And we're actually going to have the people who don't sell for a very, very cheap cost. Again, this was all budgeted items, and a lot of it's on volunteer time. And we also did solicit some local bids, which we didn't get any contractor that was way super busy. Yeah, go ahead,
Just a
Rob.
clarifying question again for the newer members of our county board. So can you explain how those dollars are funded? Are they part of the county
The
budget?
memorial building
Yeah,
is
that's
not,
a good-
is not from the county.
Yeah,
The memorial building sustains itself. 2 years ago, we cut them off, and they're doing better now than they ever did.
yeah, a lot of fundraising efforts, bingo
They're
events,
actually-
50 raffles.
We're actually a
donations.
501c3 for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Legit. And then sometime this year, and we brought it up I told them at the meeting today, that we're gonna give it to them. County will give it to them, there'll be something in there saying if they start wrecking it or tearing it up, we get it back, but it's they're a 501 nonprofit. And we've had Roxanne on the board just for that specific. It took her a long time, it was a lot of paperwork, it was a lot of bullshit, but she got it done, and then we removed her. But she did her job, she did what she had to do in the board. But it's not for none of the county, none of that memorial buildings funded by the county.
Thanks, Roxanne, for bringing some of that history up, because I forget that we do have good people here, so.
I didn't want them to be
Repeat
looking
myself
for it
over and over again every month. Not
in the county
everybody's
budget, you know?
correct.
Yeah.
So that was a quick meeting today. I'll touch on some the finance committee. We met last Wednesday. A lot of what we're going to cover tonight is already on the agenda. As I mentioned in the finance meeting last week, that it's kind of important to note that since 2024, we've come a long way. Before that, we were operating with a $5 million net loss. I was just talking to Jay today on how well every department's doing. We have some healthy fund balances. For example, highway department is sitting on $534,000 less expenditures that we don't see, especially in quarter one. We ended April with an $8 million cash balance. Claire, our treasurer, has increased our collateralization balance by $2 million, up about $7.2 million. And then we talked about LGIP. That's been set up with a $200,000 move from the highway account. And getting some better interest rates there. And for the Saxon Harbor principal, so we talked about that in the finance. So that principal balance is $317,000. $250,000 was paid in February and $443,000 paid in April.
Good progress this year.
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of the stuff is on the agenda tonight for the finance, so.
Actually, it was a pretty good 2 years. In general, we did a lot of reduction in staff and still was able to maintain and actually improve services. Just thinking of human services alone, we're able to still work as hard as they always have and reduction, and they still are able to provide great services for their children and placement costs. So they did a great job. And
For the first time, we have a $250,000 fund balance for human services as well, which brings us in line with other counties from a percentage perspective. A lot of counties carry fund balances for each of their departments. And that's a big step. That's a good move by the board in January, December.
we also brought in the Bay Area Rural Transit, which actually is funded fairly by them. $15,000. So we've made a lot of strides over the last years.
Yeah, definitely more comfortable.
Anything, Joe?
No, I got nothing.
Okay, I got a bunch of shit. Just roughly to let you guys know, they're moving that money. Our money was uninsured, we were uninsured. We were really in trouble. I shouldn't say we weren't, but when we got the money for the Kyle Flowage, the timing was off. Our money wasn't covered, but anyway, they're working on the money. They're getting it, we're moving it around. Yeah. The back tax property is being posted in the minor precinct, right, Clara?
Should be in there on Friday.
Yep. Looks sweet, some people paid up, some other ones are gonna be in the paper. Bill is making the new, child support offices, and he's on time. Bill's going out, bad news is Bill's getting surgery on his rotator cuff June 14th, I do believe, or 12th. Sawyer's working 32 hours now, so Sawyer's gonna have to go to 40 hours. Bill's still gonna be around, he can't touch nothing. He could be a sidewalk superintendent, he can tell him what to do, but Bill ain't gonna be able to touch nothing. 6-8 months. So that, just be aware of that. We got the cleaning straightened out. We separated the cleaning. Nobody has any problems with the cleaning. The only problem with the cleaning was that somebody thought somebody was being the aging unit and they weren't, and the other one thought they were doing it, but we got to the bottom of that. So we got that all straightened out, and as far as I know, everybody is happy. Nothing's bad. Saxon Tower is ours. That's closed. That's ours. Bill's gonna order a building to put the generator and stuff in. Gerard in the vet's office is fully vetted, and that's all his credentials now. That's a good thing. You can do it. He's doing good. He's doing really good. He came to the memorial yesterday. Sheriff gave the Suburban to land and zoning. We had one. He was gonna. He worked well with us, and he gave us one. So they're gonna take the Suburban. I'm glad you're here, Melissa, because the health truck's on its last legs. And Melissa told me she was looking to see if she had some money. Did you find any?
Yeah, yes.
All right, at a later date, she'll tell us about it next week at her health thing. She doesn't want to give it all up. And which brings me, and I told them in the finance, they got to start thinking about rotating the cars in the budget. Somebody's got to do it. So we got to.
Bill's gonna work through that
Bill's going to work
process.
through it. We're going to just get rid of one.
Hopefully,
If all else fails, we give it to Eric. Okay, the coroner's office is vacant. Bob Barnum, who took out papers for non-candidacy. In case you know anybody wants to be the coroner. Nobody's, how long you got to step up? June 1st, the papers are due. If nobody turns it in, we had this conversation a couple years ago. It might come back. I don't know what we do.
Contract for it?
Yes,
We discussed it years ago.
we did a couple years ago before Bob did. So somebody would like to be the coroner before June 1st, you gotta put it in, or otherwise we gotta think of something to do. Okay? I went to the Enbridge pipeline meeting Friday at Ashland. They're going. If you go up to Gurney, it's loaded. Frontier Bar loaded. 169 down in the pit, loaded. Got some kudos. They loved working with Eric Peterson, Heather Palmquist, and Paul Smartish. Your names got brought up a couple times up there. They've been very good to work with. They said Iron County's been very good to them. They've been very good to them. So I went to that.
I'll underline it.
Just so the rest of the supervisors know this too, I have a department head meeting once a month, first Wednesday of the month. I have a department head meeting. I meet with the department heads in this room. Sometimes we go to Cary Park if it's nice out. Nobody wants to sit in here, I meet with them. I can only meet with them. I'll just explain this, Tristan. If there's more than me there, then we have to post it as a quorum. So I come and I'm the only one that goes, and then they tell me what they tell me nobody else. I'll tell you one thing, a lot of stuff that came out of, a lot of the resolutions and the stuff that came out in the last 2 years came out of these department heads. The department heads are, they're very good. They bring it to us, they tell us what their problem is, I bring it to the board, and they're spot on. Most of it, the department heads are really good. I'm gonna have them come. I didn't have them come today, but I had them last time. Every county board meeting, I'll have a department come for 15 minutes so you don't get bored. But give us a PowerPoint, 15 minutes on what that committee does. So if you ain't on it and you're voting on something, you got an idea of what they do in there. Starting next week, Melissa, maybe one of you, I'll find out in the department head meeting who wants to go first. Then we'll start kicking him out. And then last but not least, Wendy Grasso retired. She left May 1st. She's been working here since October of 2008, and she left May 1st of 2026. We had a party for her. I was gonna have her come. She was gonna be here today. We got her a gift card from Nugget, her favorite place her and her husband like to eat. Gonna get her flowers. She was gonna come and talk to us, and she had some stuff happen personal in her life to her husband, and she couldn't make it. It's sad. Wendy was a part of this. I see her every day. She's quiet, she did her job. She was always here. You take over, Karen. Praise her.
First, she wanted to tell everybody that she's sorry that she couldn't make it, because she has to stick close to home with her husband. And she wrote me a message that she wanted me to read. In 1979, this is from Wendy. In 1979, after receiving an associate degree from Wichita Community College, I was hired by the law firm of Weiss and Cossey. In 1982, we had to move to Marinette, Wisconsin, due to Kurt's job transfer. At that time, I was employed by the Barstow Law Firm in Menominee, Michigan. In 1985, we decided to move back to Hurley. I got a call from the same law firm I had worked for before, only now it was Geisler and Dean. I worked there until fall of 2007, at which time Karen convinced me to come over to Iron County to work as her deputy. So all in all, I have worked about 46 years total between my jobs as a legal secretary and my courthouse job. I can't believe how fast the time has flown. I've truly enjoyed my job here. I'm sorry, you guys. I just worked over here for a long time. I was lucky to work with a great team of people. We were shown appreciation by many people in the public domain, so that made it all the more rewarding. I hope the new deputy clerk, Kelly, enjoys her job as much as I did. I am looking forward to having more time to camp, travel to some new places, and to visit our grandsons in Canada. Thanks to all for the wonderful retirement wishes.
Take a minute and regroup and then introduce them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I worked with Wendy for, what was it, 29 years. She also stood up for me in my wedding, and so I told Murph, I said she was with me for the births of both my kids and everything. We worked together at, first it was Geisler and Dean, then Geisler, Dean O'Day, and Dean O'Day and Pope, and then I think the last was Dean and Pope. So we were together for a long time, and now you all know probably Michael is the judge over in Gilgit. And I had said to Wendy, what are you going to do when he retires? And when Michael goes for judge, she's like, well, I don't know. So I said, I'll send for my luggage. And so that's what I did. I sent for her when my deputy here retired and Michael became judge. But my new deputy is Kelly Parker. Kelly, this is everybody from Iron County. She will tell you a little bit about herself. I've known her for a long time, and I think she's going to do a great job. It's been working great so far. So,
Thank you. My name is Kelly Parker. Before I graduated, I got a 2-year associate's degree from McGibbon in 2012. However, I didn't go into the field that I went into. I had to stay home and raise 2 little babies. So, and then the opportunity arose where my children wanted to start going to school, and I started working at VFW as a farm manager. And I stuck with it for 12 years because it was just, I felt dedicated to it. It was more of a choice than in corner than pursuing my degree. I stayed there and managed and took care of the bar and, whatnot. And Karen here comes and asks me if I would like to be her deputy. I'm a quick learner. I learned a lot so far, and right now I'm refining these skills, and I do enjoy it. I absolutely do enjoy it here. I enjoy the people here. Everybody's smiling, happy, and I like it. I like it. She's lying. She's lying. Smiling and happy. Well, you're not. You don't.
Come aboard.
I'm trying to cover for you. The people who come in.
Yeah, stop up and see about that.
Everybody else.
Everybody should go upstairs. Sometimes people don't go up there and she feels lonely. Go up there and see her. Thank you, Karen, and I'll get that. You will, or see Wendy. I'll go to her also, but we'll just, we'll make it right. I feel bad for her.
I
She's just tired and stuff like this happens, but I know and I hear it. You never can. You gotta be grateful because you don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. Exactly.
When's her official last day?
It was.
It was May
We already ate
1st.
cake and everything.
Yeah, we had her.
We had a cake and jubilation.
What's that?
I said, we had a good cake and jubilation.
It was here, I mean, everybody was invited and just threw it out there.
Okay, that's basically all I got. What do you got, county manager's report?
Okay, I sent out my report for April, in writing, so if there's any questions on that, I don't know if anybody got a chance to review it. But please don't hesitate to either stop by and visit, you can send me an email, or you can bring it up in the meeting if there's any questions. I basically have 8 things that I've really been working on with the board, and I go through them every meeting. And they were all on that report. The first is RT Vision, so we're implementing it. It's now live in highways, so that's a win. Went live on Monday, May 11th, and we're still running parallel testing with paper timesheets. The guys are using the paper timesheets kind of just to help them enter their stuff into RT Vision, but then the data is flowing directly from RT Vision into our chems, not our chems system, it's the Wisconsin Department of Transportation's chems system. So that's up and running, RT Vision's going well. IT strategic plan was one of the items, we're covering that tonight. I'll keep moving through these. Process improvement time card payroll, we're covering that tonight in a resolution. Process improvement AP flow, nothing to report here. We're still working on US Bank setup for the P-card system. Budget finance, so we have a new county monthly financial reporting system for reporting to match the audit, how we get audited, and basically it matches what's expected by state reporting. We walked through it in finance. Jamie brought up some of the items today. We ran a surplus of approximately $2 million last year. A lot of that was due to lower placement costs in human services, increased stumpage revenue, highway had lower costs and things like that. So it was a good year last year. The 2027 budget model is in the works, so we're in the process of putting together a budget model. I'm going to meet with all of the departments to go through their needs and make sure we have it. And what I'm trying to build is a template that we can use year on year that'll help us automate the budget process on the back end, especially in the front end. We'll be able to drop data right from our accounting or our financial system right into this model. So hopefully preload. It'll also preload the wage structure, which has been worked on by the county. I'm hoping to bring the wage structure next month. I'd like to introduce the wage structure both in the finance meeting and the board meeting so we can begin to talk about the plan of action for how we're going to handle wages in 2027 for the budget. Probably time to start talking about that. And that's all I have. Everything else we'll cover, like IT strategic plan and the time card payroll in resolutions.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Yeah, so are we is the whole board gonna see the
full strategic
budget to actual, like the finance committee sees it? Your high level report that they.
Yeah,